Hello, Nigerians and lovers of Nigeria. Good evening and welcome to a new working week. Yes, of course, the week started yesterday, but today is the very first day of the working week, and we have loads of information for you as we hang out this evening. We just want you to stay put. Number one, Chicago State University, of course, the way they conducted themselves in this whole Atiku Tinubu investigation and proving saga put their reputation under question. But much more than their reputation under question, things are now moving up to indeed an investigation of Chicago State University based on the way they modeled up issues. This is one of the things we're going to be bringing you tonight. We are also going to be discussing with you tonight what is really happening at the Supreme Court. Many people do not know that Atiku indeed has officially submitted the evidence he brought from the US, from Chicago State University deposition, and it is currently with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has graciously admitted it in evidence, but what is happening after they have admitted it? Because the evidence is destroying, the evidence is capable of removing someone from the seat as a president. What ripples is happening in the judiciary? What is happening now? Will they throw it away like the appeal court did, or are they going to look into it? Because admitting it is one thing, giving it attention is another thing. Furthermore, people are also talking the narrative that, oh, where is all this evidence coming? It was never mentioned during the petition hearing. Well, we have the information to debunk that tonight, to show you that not only was it discussed, but right from the time when the petition was submitted in March by Labour Party and PDP, PDP definitely and rightly mentioned the fact that APC presidential candidate did not qualify on issues bordering on his academics. And I've argued it up until now. So don't be deceived. Don't be carried away. We have all the information for you tonight. And let's roll it now. If I'm a please start us, where are we starting from? Thank you.
Okay, Doc, I want us to look at this video, then you throw more light on that because David Hunde was on live television today with News Central and he made some shocking revelations. Like you initially said, he even told us that the CSU has opened a criminal investigation, as regards to all these controversies out there. I believe they've taken it upon them to dig deep to know what actually happened, because there's a lot of speculations out there. Some people are now saying that he never attended the university. It's possible that he just tried to use somebody's name, and there are lots. And I think it would be really nice for them to dig deep, because the current registrar wasn't there when all these things came out, and he has come out to say that they believe that the president of Nigeria is the one that graduated on the basis of that they have a name that is similar to his name, in their record. So that's just the condition that they've given her. But David Hundeyin has really made a striking exposure during this live session. And if you don't mind, let me quickly play that video, then you take it up from there.
The guest who joined us in the morning, he said there was a typographical error in all of that.
Well, why it's important is that if you read through the deposition, Caleb Westberg was asked multiple times, can you categorically confirm that this person you have on file by the name of Bola A. Tinubu is the same person as Nigeria's president? And his answer every single time was, yes, I can confirm that based on the fact that we have a transcript for somebody called Bola A. Tinubu. And then Angela Liu, Atiku's lawyer, then asked him further, so are you then saying that Chicago State University is merely making an assumption that because there is somebody on file with a similar name to the person who is Nigeria's president, that means that they are the same person? And his answer was, that is correct. Keyword, assumption. Because again, if you read through the deposition and if you read through the case files, it also becomes clear that Chicago State University claims that they have no identifying information whatsoever to identify the actual person known as Bola A. Tinubu on their file. So there's no passport data page, there's no driver's license, there's no passport photo, there's no visual ID. Which I think all of us having this conversation, we all went to university or some tertiary institution of some description, and we all know how incredible that sounds to us. Because even if you go to some federal polytechnic in, Gusau, for you to get admission there, I'm sure they will take your some sort of visual record of you to prove that this is the person that we have on file, as compared to whoever it is who will later show up claiming to be that person. Yet Chicago State University essentially claims that because they have a transcript for somebody named Bola A. Tinubu, and that there is somebody who is now Nigeria's president going by the name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who claims to have attended Chicago State University around the same time as the person they have on file, that therefore means that they are the same person. Now, there are two major problems with this. The first problem is that what it potentially means is that Nigeria's president, the person sitting in the top office of the land, potentially has committed identity theft, identity fraud. I'm not sure I need to explain why that is a big problem. For the reputation of Nigeria, even for the national security of Nigerians, I'm sure that's self-explanatory. The second issue is that what Chicago State University claims essentially means that all I need to do is I need to look up the names of people who maybe graduated from Chicago State University at any point in time, maybe 1986, and then I go do a legal change of name. I assume one of their names, right? And then I go to Chicago State University and I will order a certificate that belongs to that dead person, right? And they will say that, well, since my name matches the name of that person and I claim to have graduated the same year as that person, that therefore means that we are the same person. Since they have no way of visually verifying that I am in fact the same person that I claim to be, since they say they have no driver's license, no passport data page, no passport photograph, no sort of visual identification, which sounds absolutely incredible to me. So something else, I think the final thing I'll mention here is that a criminal investigation has actually kicked off at Chicago State University, because the authorities in the US themselves have seen this exact same picture, that at the very least, even if we're not talking about a criminal conspiracy here, at the very least, there is criminal negligence here in terms of data handling. So I think the issues here should be self-explanatory. Again, people should read this deposition. Stop listening to what David Hundeyin said, the deposition said, or what somebody said it said. Go and read it for yourself. It's available on the internet.
I mean, it's just beautiful. I am so happy the way David ended. You see, people who are fooled by the likes of Morka, the guy who is the spokesperson for the APC. I saw him on channels the other day. People who are fooled by the likes of Festus Keyamo, who appeared to who appears in Channel and Arise and Co, are simply people who are learned, who went to school, who can just print out documents that is available on the internet to read for themselves. This document was not written in Latin, it was not written in French, it was not written in Portuguese, it is written in English. And the English is not ambiguous, it's not confusing. If we read that particular transcript, you will see that where the Chicago State University registrar spoke directly with certainty, it was indicting the person in question. Where he was confused, like David is saying here, it puts the reputation of the university in question. Because to be honest, let us ask ourselves the truth. Even as poor as we may think that Nigerian universities may be, we can still trace our record. And the reason why an investigation is being kicked off now in the Chicago State University is because they cannot be that untardy. These are countries of the world. Do you know that the Constitution of what is called the 1885, I think it's 1885, the Constitution of the United States of America, written with a bare hand, is still stored till date. Do you know that if you go to the British Library in central London, that the letter, handwritten letter written by King Henry VIII, as far back as the 16th century, is still stored and kept till date? So, because of how public this thing went and the media attention it garnered both in the US and in Nigeria, and because of the calibers of people involved, Chicago State University is trying to do what? Save their head. And that is why this investigation is launched. But look at how it benefits us. What it does is that it puts these same people in Nigeria on the spotlight. Because whatever the outcome of that investigation reveals will be a blowback to whatever is happening in Nigeria. Whether the Supreme Court investigates, looks into the evidence or not, the integrity and the reputation of the existing government is still in question. That is the most important thing. It's still in question. And now, last night, we did discuss with us here the fact that this same person who ended up entering Chicago State University with Southwest College transcript, a college transcript. That is what is in his file with Chicago State University. The same person in 1999 swore an affidavit that he graduated from University of Chicago and got Bachelor of Science degree in economics from 1970, was it 75 to 1976? No, from 1970, what again? Just give me a second, please. Let me not misquote myself. Just give me a second. How, when he did what? When he entered this university from 1972 to 1976, from University of Chicago, from 1972 to 1976. And then, listen, from 1976 to 1970, from 1977 to 1979, he got Bachelor of Science degree in administration from Chicago State University. Okay, Nigerians, listen. Let us ask ourselves a question. At what time was he attending Southwest College? When did he attend Southwest College? So, as we talk, someone, what is called the public action. Public action. Nigerians, even Nigerians in Chicago, can sue Chicago State University for them to actually tell us what is happening, because there is a court document in our country showing that this same person that they gave admission in 1977 with Southwest College result was also in University of Chicago, according to him. So you see that all these controversies, and someone like David, as you can see, because it was David that posted that affidavit yesterday, is dragging them, using his lawyer to tug at them, to pull them, to drag them. So as indeed, Chicago University, we said it when we started, why can't they just come clean and save their head instead of putting their own reputation on the line to save one man's job? And no matter what they try to do to save that man's job, if he has lost his credibility before us, he has lost his credibility before us. Why would you allow another person's mess, another person's debt to rub off on you when you can walk away and save your face? So that is it. So now I want to take it back to the narrative we have been painting since 4 days now.
But Doc,
You
please,
now
I have
see
a question.
before your question, let me pin it with the narrative we've been painting since 3 days ago. You now see why these people are moving in against the media, especially in Nigeria. Because as all these things are erupting and the media is spreading it, it is like rubbing in on them. So they want to do everything they can do to gag, to choke, to suppress the media. But thank God, like Aisha Yusuf said today, everybody owns a TV station. They can't cage all of us. Thank you. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the possible implication of this investigation that is going on now. Is it in any way going to affect the outcome of the Supreme Court?
Okay.
Or is the Chicago State University embarking on this investigation just for their own use?
Okay. By the remit of what the deposition produced, any judge that wants to give judgment has more than enough information to take a decision. Do you understand? Because, as David says repeatedly, Mr. Westberg was asked questions such as, this particular certificate, which they give a name in that deposition as INEC diploma. INEC diploma. Can you people identify that this INEC diploma was issued by you people? They said no. Times without number, they said, this name passed through our school. And because this name is existing and passed through our school, we can actually say that it is him. But this certificate that was given to INEC did not emanate from us. And as we have said, Atiku did not go to court to plead whether this person went to the school or not. The whole investigation that, like David Hunde is talking, impersonation, identity theft, Tinubu did not go to, Atiku did not go to plead identity theft. He went to plead whether the certificate given to INEC was emanated from Chicago State University or not. The Chicago State University has said it in one sentence. It did not emanate from us. They asked him, and the man said, we can only identify this certificate since this case started. So the Supreme Court has all they need. But the investigation in Chicago will also have its ripple effect back home, because even if the Supreme Court removes this person as a president, and that is not the end of the investigation. Even if he's removed, the eruption of the history of questionable practices will continue to haunt him as he keeps on popping up. Even if the Supreme Court did not remove him, he will be in the mind of people who have now known the truth, who he is in their mind, regardless of the fact that he's the president or not. Do you understand? And that is it. So that's why I keep saying, head or tail, something has happened. Something that have been kept from us for 47, 48, 50 years now. Half a century scam, half a century manipulation is finally exposed, and there is no hiding place.
So, Doc, on the basis of that deposition, because David Hunde made a statement, he said you should take note of the keyword assumption.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
It's a very simple thing again. They asked him, are you now saying that the reason why you gave this, you think that is an assumption? Because they are trying to say there is no other way other than the fact that his name is BAT. We have a BAT in our record. And as you can see David talking, which means I can look at my age bracket. I can look at the time I came out of the university, if I didn't go to this university, and I just check somebody who probably go to the record and probably go to the registrar of any school in Nigeria, university in Nigeria, and say, please check for me the record of anybody who graduated in this 3 years period, who is a male. Is any one of them dead? The moment they confirm, I will officially go and change my name, swear an affidavit of change the name, and apply to the place and say, hey, this is me. Do you think even the worst college of education in Nigeria would do it? Talk more of a polytechnic or a university. So they think it is him based on assumption. They are not saying it is him, that there is anything emphatic that they can lay their hand now to think it is, to be sure it is him. When you registered for your, even for your JAM, didn't you put passport? When you registered for WAEC, didn't you put passport? When you registered for your matric in your university, didn't you fill form this, form that, send one to BOSA, send one to registrar, send one to student affairs? Did you remember how many forms you used to send? One goes to BOSA, bursary department. One goes to the registry department. One goes to student affairs. The other one goes to the HOD. Have you forgotten? Didn't we learn this thing from these Oyibo people? Who is fooling who? Too much money that we don't have moved from here. There is a program I listened to somewhere that the person who, quote and unquote, authorized the release of all those letters that they were sending, giving to the likes of Reno Mokri and co. That the person, after he did this whole thing, he took a walk, he left the system, which means it is a job. It's a job. You know. Let's move on to another thing.
Yeah, Doc. About Atiku's appeal, what do you make of it? Because he has submitted the information you got. Okay.
Do you have Atiku's appeal document, the first page? Do you have it? I just want to show Nigerians something with that. Now, if you look at the very first page, now this is the very first page. Can we see the second page? This is Atiku's appeal. You can see SC/CV/935/2023. That's telling you that this is a stamp from the Supreme Court, and it was stamped on the 5th of September, meaning that what happened officially, Atiku's additional evidence has been submitted, because we know that Atiku has submitted his appeal long before now. But this is additional evidence that he submitted within the remit of the time. Within the remit of the time. Can we see okay, sorry. Okay. Now, look at page 2 says, further take notice that the ground for the said application are as follows. On the ground of the appellant and applicant's petition before the court below is that the second respondent was not qualified at the time. Number 2, based on the facts available to the appellant at the time of filing their petition, the first appellant, through his United States of America's lawyer, Alexander, now, Chicago State University, jurisdiction. Give me the page 3, please, if possible. If you can't, just forget it. But if you can, fine. All right. So now, if you continue to read, they now begin to present the same thing we have been arguing here. Remember, they quoted to the Supreme Court their own rules. They quoted to the Supreme Court their own rules. And what is it? Supreme Court Rules Order 2, Section 12, subsection 123. We brought it up here the other time. I don't know if we still have it. If we don't have it, I have it here, and I'm going to read it to us. They quoted it to the Supreme Court. Beautiful. They said 12A says, a party who wishes the court to receive the evidence of witnesses, whether, now listen, this is important, whether they were or were not called at the trial, called, or to order the production of any document, exhibit, or other thing connected with the proceeding in accordance with the provision of Section 33 of the Act. shall apply for leave on notice of motion prior to the date set down for the hearing of the appeal. Remember that when Atiku was in the US, he kept telling the court, 5th of September, 5th of September is my deadline to submit additional evidence. Where did he manufacture that 5th of September? Is because there is a rule that gave him provision to submit it latest 5th of September. I am saying this today so that if in an unfortunate situation, the Supreme Court decides to throw it out, it's not because they don't know what to do. It's simply because the evidence submitted is so stinking that nobody touches it and walk home clean. If you touch it, it stinks and it stains. So the technical thing they may do, give me the subsection 2 and 3. The technical thing they see, the subsection 2 says the applicant shall be supported, the application shall be supported by affidavit of fact. If you see the first page that you gave me before, it was talking about the affidavit of fact. That is Article's first page. It came as affidavit of fact. The application shall be supported by affidavit of fact on which the party relies for making it, and of the nature of the evidence or the document concerned. It shall not be necessary for the other party to answer the additional evidence intended to be called, but if leave is granted, the other party shall be entitled to a reasonable opportunity to give his own evidence in reply if he so wishes. I know that APC may want to give their own rebuttal to this. So let's keep on hanging and see how they are going to try to come and say that the Chicago University did not say. Let's see how they will paint it. But what this tells us is that the court has admitted it. They may choose not to even, APC might even choose not to do anything. If they have gotten a wind of information that they are in charge, and whatever they tell the judges they will do, they may just walk away. Remember that even during the hearing period, they didn't call witness. They didn't bring any evidence because they know that they are planning to throw everything away. So why bother? Why trouble yourself when everything can be technically kicked out? But Nigerians, Atiku has submitted this particular extra evidence. And this extra evidence, as we all know, is damning, is damaging, and it is capable of removing someone as president. So the question we're going to ask ourselves, which Dele Farotimi, is it Farotimi? When he was saying that he does not have the confidence in the system, when Chidi Odinkalo was saying that he doesn't have confidence in the system, because the conduct and the behavior of the judge does not show the character of people who can look injustice in the face and deal with it. If a man is vetting his own son and succeed and anointing him a judge to probably succeed him, what moral guts will he have to dare injustice in the face? If people are planting their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their cousins, their relations, their in-laws in the judiciary, in the bench to become judges, and you know that politicians know how to use your debts to hunt you, how will they look the politicians in the face and kick them out when all of them, their hands are soiled? I don't know. But Nigeria, whether the Supreme Court of Nigeria gives us judgment or not, we know we have a case. We know that they just looked us in the face and they say, we don't care how you feel. We will treat you the way we like, not because we don't have a case. So that's what I want to say. Anything else?
Yeah, Doc, you've made a very valid point, because we've seen the APC coming out to tell Nigerians that this information that Atiku brought from the United States does not even make sense, because he can no longer submit it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not admitting anything fresh again. But from what you've just read now, this is directly from the Constitution, because sometimes you even wonder if those that come out to speak in some of these media houses, if they've even read the Constitution. But you've made it clear now, at least for us to understand that Atiku still has that opportunity for his evidence to be admitted because the Constitution allows for that. So I'm just wondering where the APC is picking what they are coming out to the media to see, or is it that they just want to like corner the mind, or like arrest the mind of the Supreme Court judges? Because this was exactly what happened during the tribunal. People least expected the kind of judgment we were given. So many people were like, what? They said, yeah, Peter Obi did not bring enough evidence, he did not do this, he did not do that. And we only ended up seeing them justifying what INEC did. So many things that we never expected from from those judges were just what we saw. So it is good that you are bringing this up, but one keeps wondering if these are judges, if they will even want to pay attention to things like this, because Nigeria is a country where the unthinkable do happen. They might even see these things glaring that this is what the Constitution says, but they may just decide to go the other way around.
It's true. It's true. I mean, sorry to interrupt you. Look at, like, for instance, what happened in Kano State. A judge, quote and unquote, that should be a judge of repute, sat down, 3 judges, and after deliberation, you deducted more than 100,000 votes from a political party, saying, now listen, that ballot paper did not have any stamp or date or signature. Then you deducted 120-something thousand votes. Which election do we see that only one party is voted? When you deducted 120-something thousand votes from one party, NMPP, how many did you deduct from Labour Party? Because Labour Party had a governorship candidate in Kano State. How many did you deduct from PDP? Because PDP is also a major challenger in Kano State. How many did you deduct from SDP? And how many did you deduct from APC? And they just did this thing and walked away without any feeling, without any care. And it can only happen in Nigeria. And then the chief judge will come on the day he's going to make his son a judge and tell Nigerians that they are being vitriolic in the media. Can you relate it? So it's frightening. It's worrisome the way we are going these days. Okay? But what can
yeah, Doc, I wanted to ask this question. Somebody was like, can the United States use the US Congress to would I say mandate the Chicago State University to really investigate this case, because nobody actually know how deep the Chicago State University will really want to go into this matter.
No, to a certain extent, it's an internal matter. It's only such kind of thing is at the level they're doing it is the level they're doing. Besides, it's called Chicago State. You need to understand the United States of America is a federal system. America runs a federal system. A governor is as powerful as a president in his state. He's the president of his state. Do you understand? He's the president of his state. The local government chairman, what they call the mayors there, is as powerful as the governor in his county. He could look the governor in the face and say, don't come in here. This is my jurisdiction and this is the extent the law permits you to do something. The police, as it were, is under the mayors. The National Guard is under the governors. And the army is, as it were, is under the presidency. Even if the National Guard will be used, which will require the authorization of the presidency, governor will first of all permit the president to release it. So the hierarchy of power exists there. It can be abused sometimes, but at least everybody understands their role and their place. So it's not that kind of, it's not like in Nigeria where the body language, a president will mistakenly say something and it become a policy. It's not like that. That's not how a society is run.
Yeah, Doc, thank you very much. So somebody was equally asking, because I had some questions in the comment section. that what's the exact name on the birth certificate of the president? I don't know if you have that information, because we got to see, there was this image you sent to me during the day that contains 3 birth days, as in 3 different dates. I don't really know if you want to throw more light on that, because when we are saying forgery, I think there are a lot of things that is not really that clear, considering so many documents that came from the president, his birth certificate and all that. There's this 3 different dates that is associated with him. And somebody was like, which name is on his birth certificate and which of these age or ages, dates of birth?
Which birth certificate? That's the question number 1. Because till date, we still don't know which primary school or secondary school someone attended. But there is a document showing a visa page, US visa page. At least you do know that when you apply for visa, you give your formal name. You usually give your formal name to your first name, your second name, and your last name. That's what we have. And your formal name and names that you put in your official document. And if we are to go by what the A represents, the A represents Ahmed as shown in the visa and as also shown in the passport page of even the one, the Guinean passport, American visa, INEC form, Chicago State University. But of course, you can see that in the last 48 hours, officially, online, there has been, the A has given birth to another A. So instead of BAT acronym, we know it is now BAAT. So here is it. This is the visa. And as you can see here, the birth date here is March 1952. Okay? And you can see the surname, the given names. Okay? So what we don't know now, and it is said the date of birth, what we don't know now is how you categorize the name that is on Wikipedia and what prompted that. Is it to normalize the NYSC discharge certificate? The question is, if that Ade what? Is it Adekunle? If that Adekunle is to be adopted, when was there any official affidavit for an addition of name or for a change of name? Remember, Nigerians, that the deputy governor of the APC candidate in Bayelsa State in 1999 was removed on the account of this confusion in his name. He kept changing, dropping, bringing a new one, returning the old one, until the same Supreme Court we're talking today say, oh boy, which one be your name? You lose this position. But another question we have to ask ourselves is, does the law apply to everybody like that in Nigeria? Or are there some people who must receive the hammer of the law, and those whom the hammer of the law will actually kick off their enemy to protect them? Because we can see the hammer of the law kicking off Labour Party petition, kicking off PDP in order to preserve others. And sometimes we see the hammer of the law striking on people. So it is now no longer the matter of what is just and what is unjust, what is unjust. It's a matter of the person in question. It's a matter of the party in question. If the party in question is the owner of the judiciary, whatever they do becomes just. And if your party does not own the judiciary, no matter how just what you did, they will find a means to make it unjust. Period. That is the ideology, from my own perspective, that underlies our judiciary and their pronouncements.
So that implies that the name that they've even changed, on Wikipedia, if the Supreme Court judges should really be sincere with Nigerians, that alone is another headache for the president.
Of course, it should be under normal circumstances. It should be under normal circumstances. But that also goes to tell you something. they are also frightened. I want to believe that they're also frightened that they have implicated themselves with the NYC certificate that they submitted to INEC, and they don't know how to defend it. Because somehow or the other, they're weighing the options. So you could see that this is the attitude of people who are jittery, people who are not sure of the outcome. That is it. Because how do you defend that NYSC is something you do because you're a graduate? The name that appears on the document that proves that you have graduated changed when NYSC is issuing you a certificate. I do know that women in Nigeria who got married as they were going to youth service, some of them got married during youth service. They usually want their NYSC discharge certificates to carry their husband's name on the condition that they present their marriage certificate. That is the only reason NYSC can change your name. I have some people in my year who got married during the camp, during the NYSC day. They had Bonnie Haruna, the former governor of Adamawa State. I served with his wife. I see, I served with somebody. I can mention who I served with. I served with his wife. They got married in the course of this. I think, no, I don't know. I can't say they got married. I served with his wife. But these are the kind of situations that can happen. So if the name that is on the university certificate changed from Ahmed to Adekunle, did NYSC know? Did they give NYSC the affidavit of change of name? When did it finally change back again? As at 1998 and 1992 during senatorial campaign and governorship campaign. And beside, why is our media, they'll call people and say, oh, so and so, what do you think? Why can't our media have their own research and development department? Big media houses like Channels, big media houses like Arise. Why can't they go to INEC and say, this certificate is trending? Do you people have this person on record? When did he serve? Where did he serve? Where did he do his primary assignment? Why can't our media do it? Why? But the worrisome one is that even the government college Lagos that was not existing when someone graduated from the school, APC is not even talking. The media is not even bringing it back to ask the likes of ask the like of Jesus Kayomo, come, okay, fine. Assuming self, this is a waste of time. But your guy say in graduate for government college Lagos 1970, whereas the school started 1974. Waiting if you talk, what can you say about it? Why can't the media ask this kind of question? Why can't Sheun ask this kind of question? Why can't Ruben Abati ask this kind of question? Why? Instead, they will say, no. It is in court. The court has not decided. Will the court decide in the writing that says that A plus B is equal to AB? Do you need the court to decide for you that it is AB? Do you know the funny thing? I was listening to, I've forgotten that man, forgotten his name. He's a media guy. We featured him here some time ago. He said that a governor was asked, which university did you say you graduate from? And the governor said, the case in the court. The case is in the court. Can you imagine? They ask you to say the university you graduated from, say you can't mention anything because the case is in the court. How do you describe a thing like this? So the court, by the utterances and the body language of politicians, the court is a safe haven for them, where they go to validate their crime and launder their crime and it becomes authorized. Unfortunately, that's what we found ourselves. We have to call it a night, please.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for throwing more light on these issues, because we really have to understand all this. And the revelation that David Hunde made today, I think is of great importance, in all this, that the Chicago State University did not categorically say, yes, he graduated from that school. Rather, they said for the fact that they have a transcript that bears that name, and it is the same name, that the person who is presiding over Nigeria as the president has, that they believe, they are assuming that it's all about assumption. Like David said, we should mark that keyword. They said assumption. So it's not as if they are very, very sure that he was the actual person that graduated, and they don't even have any visual documents of him. No photo, no passport, no ID, even no driver's license, nothing. There's nothing in their file. And also, they told us that they have never issued him any certificate because he had never applied for one. So there are a lot to still uncover. And most interesting is that they've started this criminal investigation. Let's just see how all this is going to play. That was what David Hunde told us today. So we are going to just keep watching to see how all this play. And nevertheless, we just hope that the Supreme Court judges will stand for Nigeria as a country and will defend Nigeria, because that is what they are meant to do, and not to side with these politicians who do not even care, about the country. Look at the image they've given to Nigeria. But you still see the APC people coming out boldly to say, no, he never fought. No, he attended. The CSU has even come out to affirm that, yes, he attended. But that wasn't the case. They didn't tell us that he attended. They were like, just for the fact that they have a name, that's just why they think he may be the same person that graduated from that university. But no doubt, with this investigation going on now, we'll get to the bottom of all this. So, guys, we want to appreciate you for joining us today. Thank you very much. I just want to see if we have any comments here that we can take, since we don't really have much time. Nigeria, 15 minutes. Yes, we can't just wait to see what the investigation is going to be about. And also, don't forget that the FBI, their own 500 pages for this month of October will soon be out. So we just look forward to seeing what is going to be in those pages, and we look forward to getting the real information. But there is nothing again to hide. We all know that this certificate was forged. It's just that so many of them do not even have that boldness to come out to admit. And Festus Keyamo too has been on the internet trying to do some damage control, but it's not easy for him at this moment, because during the time of Buhari, he came out to defend him. And like Mr. Buala said yesterday, some of the tweets he tweeted last time defending Buhari are the tweets that are haunting him currently. So he does not even know how to do the damage control for now. So yes, let's just watch out to see how all these things play out. The APC is known for their lies, and they are never straightforward. Everything they do is secrecy, just in everything they do. But this time, there's no hiding place for them. So guys, I want to say thank you for joining us. Please do us a favor, like this video so that YouTube can recommend it for more people to watch. And please subscribe to this channel if you don't mind, and turn on the notification bell for future updates. That's the only way you can support us. You can also buy us a super chat somewhere there. At least Dr. Etel wants to take some cool water. I know that will be appreciated if you do that for him. He's always here to give us some insight, as regards to what is happening. So thank you very much for tonight. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Good night and bye. Doctor, thank you very much.
All right. Good night, all. Thank you.
Contributions. Yeah. Good night. Bye.